Welcome to City Times. Here we bring you transfer news, match updates, and inside training information fast and reliable. Join our football family and like, comment, share and subscribe for daily updates. Manchester City transfer news. Pep Guardiola keen on perfect player as boss looks. To former Liverpool star Manchester City view former Liverpool player Trent Alexander-Arnold as a perfect fit at right back, the latest report has claimed. The Citizens advanced into the knockout rounds of the Champions League on Wednesday, with their 2-0 win against Galatasaray enough to secure an 8th-placed finish. Erling Haaland scored his first non-penalty goal in 10 games, and Pep Guardiola will need him to be at his best if they are to win major honours in the closing stages of the season. The club have already brought in attacker Antoine Semenyo, though he is less of a creator and more of a direct threat in front of goal. Alexander-Arnold has not enjoyed a fruitful season in Spain, starting just 7 times for the club, with the defender plagued by injuries. He has already suffered 3 muscle problems, and he is expected to be sidelined until February with a quad issue, his 6th setback since the beginning of 2024-25. The 27-year-old has only produced 1 assist for Real so far, though he has also had to deal with managerial turmoil at Los Blancos following the dismissal of Xabi Alonso. It should be noted that Alexander-Arnold has shown glimpses of great chemistry with forwards such as Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., with his immense passing range helping bring Real closer to the final third. The right-back's injury problems may limit what he could contribute to City in the long term, but perhaps he would be able to benefit them significantly in the short term. Guardiola's side are only 4 points behind Arsenal in the Premier League, and they are set to host the Gunners in April. Arsenal have struggled to break teams down from open play this season, and while they arguably boast a better defence than the Citizens, their lack of ruthlessness in the final third could prove costly. If City can manage the right-back's health, he may be the piece that pushes the club over the line in the race for the title. Manchester City have to avoid Manchester United ticket nightmare as Galatasaray tie offers litmus test. Manchester City are heading into a must-win Champions League game where Pep Guardiola has called on the fans to help. We need our fans. So said Pep Guardiola on Saturday after the Wolves game, and he had said similar in his previous 3 press conferences. At no point had he been asked, but he had felt the need to say it anyway. That isn't because he has felt a drop-off in the atmosphere or he wants to engage the Etihad banter merchants, but because he has seen how tired his players are and knows that they are going to need every bit of help they can get if they are to achieve the top 8 finish that they desperately want in the Champions League to avoid 2 extra games and the pressure of a playoff next month. The problem for City is that there are probably more obstacles to creating the required atmosphere than they have been for any other game this season. If Guardiola is to get what he wants, the club are going to have to cross their fingers that just about everything comes off City fans who turn up every week will be there on Wednesday night doing what they can, but there are fewer of them than there used to be because everything has become more expensive in recent years. The club have actually reduced ticket prices for Champions League games after freezing season tickets for this season. Adults will pay between £25 and £45 for Galatasaray, with under-18s just £10. Yet cup schemes have become a luxury fewer people can afford in general. There isn't one type of fan who those tickets end up with. Some will go to Blues who have been itching to go to more games, others to fans who don't normally experience a match day, and more yet may end up in the hands of fans who aren't actually City fans at all. Again, the club has tried. While it did not respond to comments for the piece on other measures, anyone who wants to buy tickets for the game through official channels has to have been a Citizens Matchday member before the Champions League draw was made this season, and must have bought tickets for at least 2 previous games. That is an attempt to learn from issues in previous seasons, such as when Real Madrid fans managed to buy tickets in the home end last year. Whether it will be enough, though, remains to be seen when there are other possibilities for Galatasaray fans. There were tickets showing as available to buy in almost every section of the ground on unauthorised third-party sites on Tuesday before the game for extortionate prices that could be exploited by visiting supporters. Unless the club or stewards can step in, and it is a big ask to expect stewards to police such situations, unauthorised sellers will continue to threaten safety and atmosphere, especially if they are able to snap up tickets that go on the exchange. With Galatasaray, City are up against a fan base that are huge, passionate and organised about doing whatever they can to get a ticket. Anonymous social media accounts have been sprouting up for weeks, trying to buy their way into the ground and do at the Etihad what they managed at Old Trafford in 2023. United were forced to apologise after their Champions League game with the Turkish Giants in 2023 because thousands of away fans managed to get into the home section sitting together. The match had been deemed low risk because only half of the 4,000 away allocation was taken up. Yet United fans who turned up were greeted by Galatasaray supporters in the home ends, and the club opted not to remove them as forced ejections can pose risks. United apologised to their fans after the game and took steps to avoid anything similar happening again in future. City will have taken notice that in their efforts to learn lessons that can mean the only story after Wednesday night is Guardiola's praise for the home supporters that roared his team into the Champions League last 16. Jeremy Doku on Diogo Dalot horror tackle and Manchester City frustration. I am not diving. Manchester City winger. Jeremy Doku spoke about his recent injury after the derby and his frustration over diving suggestions. Jeremy Doku said that he could have been sidelined for a long time after Diogo Dalot's derby challenge as he opened up on the fouls that he has grown used to and the unfair reputations that wingers pick up. The Manchester City forward was hurt as Dalot's studs raked over his knee early at Old Trafford earlier this month, and while he continued for most of the match, he was left unable to feature days later in the Champions League defeat to Bodo/Glimt, and only came off the bench against Wolves. Pep Guardiola said at the time that it should have been a red card and has complained since about PGMO head Howard Webb rushing to dismiss it. I can only say that I continued to play, but was painful to play in Norway, said Doku. You guys know my feelings about it. I could have been out for a long time. It happened and I didn't play in Norway, but I don't want to go too much into it. It is the past now. Thanks to the